Okay, up next, we've been having a hard time finding our next speaker. I don't know where he is. So if anybody's seen Kent Barton from ShapeShift, let us know.
Oh, hey, John.
Oh, hey,
Fancy
Kent.
seeing you here. How's it going?
Wow, that was weird.
Yeah, far out.
So we're going to be exploring a new Nexus with Kent, and I'm actually going to be passing the baton here to him for MC duties as well. So I'm going to do the intro and he's going to do the outro. So I'm going to help him get this part of it set up.
Hope everybody's doing good today. Can you believe we have multiple days more of content? It's crazy.
Okay, have fun, everybody.
Thanks, John. All right. So we'll get kicked off here. So yeah, I'm Kent. Along with being a steward here at ETHDenver, I head up the R&D team at ShapeShift. And today we have such a cool theme this morning with all the talks, interoperability. It's this area where it's kind of novel. Nobody's really sure how exactly it's going to play out, but clearly there's a ton of interesting and awesome developments. So let me just get this queued up here. Cool. So yeah, my focus today is going to be on the nexus of Cosmos and Ethereum specifically. We've seen a lot of talk about cross-chain bridges with different protocols. Cosmos is one that is going to be interacting with Ethereum a lot in the near term, I think. And I think there's a lot of cool opportunities there across both ecosystems. So just briefly, what we'll cover, what is Cosmos and why it's scalable, a little overview for those who are quite familiar with Cosmos. How does this differ from ETH layer 2 platforms? What is IBC briefly? Bridges between Cosmos and Ethereum, how does that work? What potential use cases might arise from Cosmos and ETH? So my general thesis here is as follows. IBC-enabled Cosmos zones, including cross-chain bridges, can effectively serve as trust-minimized scalability layer for ETH, leading to positive sum interactions across the two ecosystems. I think that's a key distinction. The zero-sum fallacy is so prevalent in Ethereum, and pardon the noise. I think there's somebody vacuuming above me. I think Ripple sent them. Anyway, there's going to be this positive sum kind of game. So kind of just briefly, I want to preface all this with my own experience and kind of how I got into learning more about Cosmos. I'm an Ethereum native. Was fortunate to kind of watch the community grow up in the ecosystem over the years. But learning about Cosmos at ShapeShift was quite an interesting experience. So at ShapeShift over the past 2 years, we contributed to a open source platform, open source Cosmos-based blockchain called MicroTick. MicroTick is a decentralized short-term options marketplace that also provides a trust-minimized price oracle. So this necessitated some important tech requirements, namely fast finality and multi-party computation. Originally, the thought was that we could put this on Ethereum, but then CryptoKitties happened. We realized it's just the mainnet clearly not feasible. We also vetted layer 2s at the time, and crucially, they lacked that ability to provide fast finality and multi-party computation. One thing I want to stress here, this is super important, is the layer 0, the community. This can't be overstated. I really strongly feel that the Cosmos community is very similar to how the ETH community was 3 or 4 years ago. There's a commitment to the ethos of decentralization and credible neutrality. There's not a rush to move into overhyped things. And there's really commitment to building things that get along with each other. And I think this really, this manifests itself in seeing this sort of explosion of different projects in this space. But really, I see some strong ethos alignment between the two communities. Pardon me real quick. I don't have my comments up here. I just want to check Slack and make sure everything is going well from a tech perspective. Okay, it looks like nothing's on fire. So against this backdrop of cool innovation, a cool community, we have kind of interesting things going on in a cross-chain perspective. So again, what is Cosmos in a nutshell? For a consensus, we have Tendermint BFT. At this point, it's safe to say that Tendermint has a little bit of the Lindy effect going on. It's been about 2 years, I think going on 2 years of providing consensus for the Cosmos Hub. I believe it's had excellent uptime. And it's really kind of been proven out. Tendermint seems to work. In Cosmos, you have self-sovereign blockchains. These are zones instead of the shared security paradigm. And then you have a unique validator set per dApp or per zone. So this differs from Polkadot, differs from ETH 2.0. It's an interesting set of trade-offs that it's entailed. It does seem to be working for a lot of different projects so far. It separates the application and consensus layers, which if you talk to dApp devs, has some serious benefits. It also imparts some scaling advantages. And of course, we also have this hub and spoke model for connecting zones in this cosmos of crazy applications. So as part of this, we have IBC, Inter-Blockchain Communication Protocol, and this is what allows Cosmos zones to talk to one another. A zone is just basically a blockchain in the Cosmos space. IBC is rolling out imminently. But in the context of this talk, what's interesting is it also facilitates bridges to other blockchains. So, it's sort of always been part of the Cosmos vision that there could be bridges into other environments. This is kind of what's happening now. The reason you haven't seen a lot of this implementation yet is that IBC itself is just rolling out after a lot of testing. Okay, so getting into the nitty-gritty of what Cosmos or how it interacts with Ethereum. This is where we get a little bit more techy, and this is an area that's likely to evolve pretty quickly over the coming months as IBC really rolls out and these things are developed on. This was formerly called Peggy. I believe it's called Gravity now. Jack Zamplin was kind enough to provide me with some details on kind of more granularly how this bridge will work. So essentially, you have a validator on Cosmos. It starts with an ETH key. The ETH contract is controlled by a weighted multi-sig of those keys, which is updated when the Cosmos validator changes. That sort of ensures that the Cosmos validator set is always matching the ETH signer set. It's a clever implementation, I think. When funds are deposited into the Gravity, an event fires, and that's related to Gravity, and then you have a minting of the corresponding token on the Cosmos side of things. And then if you're looking to go the other way, the validator set sends an ETH message, which could be relayed back over to the Ethereum blockchain, and there's some economic incentives there to encourage the relayer to do this. If you guys want more details, definitely follow Jack on Twitter. He's been working on the bridge quite a lot in recent months, and I think we're going to start seeing a lot of interesting projects emerge that are bridging the two ecosystems. So what can we make of this? What does it really mean if you're potentially a Cosmos developer or ETH developer or maybe just a user? I think a few takeaways can be gleaned from user stories. So here's one user story I think is likely to emerge. I want to use a Cosmos zone to do cool shit that's not currently feasible on a layer 2 platform. The MicroTick example I provided earlier is a prime example of that. It requires fast finality, multi-party computation. It's just not something that's doable on ETH or a layer 2 at the moment. So something unique on that layer 2, or on a Cosmos zone. On the other hand, I'd rather keep things mainly over on the Ethereum mainnet. This is currently where the lion's share of the action is in DeFi, and over there I can also count on the robust shared security of the Ethereum chain, which has been very solid and has this wonderful high hash power behind it, and eventually staking. So if you're that person, you can imagine a flow, something like, okay, I'm going to use a trust minimized bridge to peg my DAI, we'll say DAI in this case, over to Cosmos. So we have a Cosmos variant of DAI. I'll use the Cosmos DAI on the zone to do cool and unique things, of course, at a steep discount in terms of transactions, much like a layer 2. So we're very similar to the layer 2 in that sense. And then when you're done, bounce back over to DAI on the Ethereum chain in a quick and secure fashion. In this sense, it really sort of is like an Ethereum sidechain. I know that people will get into the specifics or the distinction between sidechains and layer 2. But so perhaps you could say it's a sidechain because we're not actually using the Ethereum main chain to help for data availability in this case or anything like that. Just that contract over on the Ethereum mainnet. But effectively, you're enjoying some scaling properties here. Here's another user story, and one that it takes maybe a little bit more imagination right now, but I would guess in 6 to 12 months we're going to see a ton of dApps that are doing this sort of thing. And that's specifically, okay, I'm building an Ethereum-based dApp, but man, there's some cool functionality over on Cosmos that I would love to employ and introduce in my dApp. Oracle data is a perfect example. MikroTik and other projects as well could generate data on Cosmos by virtue of their say fast finality, something that they couldn't be easily done on the Ethereum chain. That data exists over in Cosmos, but thanks to trustless bridges, it could be brought into the Ethereum space. So that the user flow in this case use a trust minimized bridge as a IBC data layer to bring information from the Cosmos world into your dApp. And let me see how I'm doing on time. Cool. We are.
A minute.
All right. We'll fly through the rest. So what does this mean? And this is where it gets really freaking cool, I think, is this kind of introduces the concept of cross-chain tech stacks, where we're building, grabbing components from different stacks. And because we have trustless bridges, with not just token transfers, but just it could be any arbitrary data. I think we'll see this rolling out. So I think that the key thought here is really think bigger. There's a lot that you could do if you're feeling limited just working in one of these ecosystems. Branch out. We're merging into a world where things will not be siloed in one chain, and that fact will be beneficial for users of all colors and types across all the spaces. Fly the ETH flag, fly the Cosmos flag. It's great. Really briefly, challenges. Okay, tech risk, IBC, and bridges like Gravity are new and unproven. So of course, there's going to be some risk until those are proven out in a production context. Friction. There's some difficulty spinning up a validator set. However, zones have certainly been successful in doing that. Lazy ledger may be able to help. Security, of course, this is a big one. Is the security of a zone as good as the shared security of ETH? I mean, probably not, but it's getting, some of these do have very good security sets, and it's getting better over time. And liquidity, can new zones quickly gain a critical mass? That's an issue, although looking at projects like Mirror Protocol and Terra, there seems to be a lot of DeFi already happening on Cosmos. So that's it.